So I'm running the Alpine Loop in my Jeep on 35s. Look in the rearview mirror, what do I see behind me?
A Ford Maverick.
Like 200 yards.
Right now we're staging a Maverick, a Tacoma, and a Jeep Gladiator. We're doing the majority of the Alpine Loop today. Being this high up, we're losing a lot of our engine power, and we are very loaded down. We've got all our Overland gear, all our water, and solar panels and batteries. So I think having steep sections with not a lot of traction will be a little bit of a difficult operation. So we've aired down to about 18 PSI to give us the best chance.
So at least through the first handful of obstacles, what's been really fun is to actually see the Maverick be able to handle a lot of this stuff that the rookie drivers on substantially better, tires, gearing, the whole thing, they're actually having a bit more trouble than you are with this thing. So it's good news to see that, if you take the right angles and the right lines, this thing can do everything they can.
Right, yeah, it's a little more difficult with just an all-wheel drive vehicle. It's a little bit more difficult with just like an all-wheel drive vehicle because it takes a little bit of time for it to figure itself out. Like you can't necessarily just crawl up everything. And there's a lot more like thought that you have to put into your line choice just because you're so much lower and you don't have that torque that you need. Nor do you have like lockers or anything.
All right, so it's kind of hard to see on camera, but this is actually a pretty steep grade. So with the Maverick, we've elected not to stop. We're just gonna hold power through all of it because restarting will be a pain.
Yep, without the articulation that we have, as soon as one wheel loses traction, if you don't have that momentum, it's game over and you gotta back down the whole thing. All right, so we've managed to make it up to the summit of Engineer, and we're heading down the other side. All right, so we made it over Engineer Pass. Gonna take a quick stop in Lake City for some lunch, some gas, and then we're gonna head back on Cinnamon Pass and we'll complete this section of the Alpine Loop. So we just got to the top of Cinnamon Pass. We just went up the west side, and it was a little bit more difficult than we expected just because basically the whole road is winter snow runoff. So it was pretty rutted. We're up here, it's gorgeous. We're at 12,640 feet, and this is our last summit of the trip.
All right, so for those of you at home that either own a Maverick or are considering owning a Maverick that want to run the Alpine Loop and adjacent trails, Dylan, close us out a little bit. What's stuff to consider?
Yeah, I mean, along the lines of what we already talked about, like really be cognizant of the weight of the vehicle, of the altitude, and what it's going to do to your vehicle, the all-wheel drive and traction control modes. But I think one of the most important things is learning where your vehicle is. Line choice is super important. That can really make or break a vehicle being able to do a trail or not. And don't be afraid to get a spotter, have them drive the vehicle from the outside so you can learn where your vehicle is and the dimensions of it, what you're gonna hit on, what you're not gonna hit on. As well as be cognizant of the trails that you're gonna go on. Like the surface of the trail is really important. The where the trail ends up is really important. You don't want to end up on a one-way trail and then the only way out is like a 9 out of 10 trail or something. So do a little research, a little recon beforehand, but most importantly, have fun.
Well, cheers to that then. Guys, we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.